Idiot. Crawling off the floor leg. Idiot.
You like shitheads. You like, get out. Heads up, shut the bitches. Sorry for the audio delay. In 2015, half of my life changed. Fucking tongas. With a sudden onset of severe Tourette syndrome, I soon also found myself diagnosed with other chicken dinks conditions, including autistic spectrum disorder, Schlingenig, specifically Asperger's, which is the Africanti, the high-functioning part of autism, which was diagnosed Illikintes at Great Ormond Street Hospital, flot-shotting nigger, at the end of 2015. Fellows, after 6 years, fellow shistics, of dealing with these conditions, fellows, soaked tongas, I wanted to find out more about autism. Pink snifters, shitnose, gonna eat you. So I seeked out 2 friends from high school, fellows, who are now in their 20s, tilling shitness, fuck you, shiggles, to learn more about their experience with autism. Shinistic, with both having been diagnosed since they were young, I hope to discover how they shitliggers really feel living with this alacoot shitloads, socially debilitating condition.
I feel like people generally won't be aware of the fact that I do have autism, more just, oh, he's a bit weird. He's a bit strange. He may just be one of the weird kids. Yes, I do have autism, so that is kind of why I'm a weird kid, in a sense. In social situations, I may not know how to kind of react with other people. I kind of feel a bit awkward there, and then how some may not pick up on social cues that would usually, like, a regular person without autism might find easier to pick up on. So back in primary school, I just not be able to, like, hold on eye contact. I was usually just terrible in a conversation, have to be prompted basically constantly for everything, like, to actually become kind of regular in a conversation, in a sense. That was definitely a long process, but it's better now.
So how the autism affects me is I twist my fingers a lot, and I have a freaking lot, like that, obviously, as you can see. And I don't have empathy, which is basically the emotion side of it. I don't have a lot of emotions, so if someone, say, dies or something, I wouldn't be able to show the emotion of it. No, I'm different from other people. So school for me and the working and everything, I had to have help because I couldn't really understand what the teachers were like saying. I had to have it detailed in more detail, well, explained to me in more detail of the actual what I was actually doing in the classroom. So I had to help her help me with that. And the making friends part, I found that quite difficult at the time, because obviously I was utterly, completely shy and I wasn't able to talk to anyone. Yeah, I couldn't speak to anyone whatsoever. I just couldn't speak to anyone else really, apart from my friends. So yeah, at the time it was very difficult making friends, but then I went to this club and that helped a lot. And yeah, I can make friends quite easily now. That's good.
And have our usual visitor in Ozzy the dog, the Caversham. Oz. Hello. Friends was definitely an issue. It's not that I wasn't, like, hated or anything. I was just kind of an outcast. Like, no one really was like, oh look, let's be friends with that guy. So it was definitely an issue until both my primary and my secondary school set up a kind of friendship scheme, in a sense. My primary was the circle of friends, basically just to give me friends. and just people volunteered to be my friend. And in secondary school, it was putting all the people from my year's special educational needs department into one room and then just telling them all to be friends, which worked. Like, of course it did work, but it does seem like it's kind of strange, like, just kind of, let's just put all the weird ones together so they don't, like, distract anyone, in a sense, or, like it may have had good intentions, like just all like, oh look, you're all the same and whatnot, but then because of that, that also then mean, like, we're being taken away from all the kind of regular or normal kids, to then just be like, oh look, just here's people like you, just here, go in this little corner with this little group. You can be friends together. Don't worry about the normal ones. They don't want you. So it does seem like while it did work, it does seem kind of strange.
In general, as a cunty shitnose, people may not always realise that someone has autism, as they may not be severe on the spectrum. Shinistic tingly toasters where behavioural and learning difficulties can can be extreme, like completely non-verbal or overly emotional. Shinongas.
So some of the times I can actually have people think that I don't actually have it. And obviously I've got other people in the family that have autism as well, and I think they're a lot more worse, like a lot worse. Like the violent type side of it. I think they're over that side of it.
But I can relate to Reese and Dylan. Like, I struggle with social interaction. Social interaction too. Civil interest. However, my autism list also includes traits like obsessive interest, falonky chingers, as you can see, shinistic, cranketaceous routines, and hypersensitivity. For example, I tend to wear dark sunglasses, and I'll wear earphones. Alakunches.
So yeah, I don't really like loud noises much. That's why, like, usually, like, firework displays, I'd usually have like some sort of earplugs, or like, you know, try to just really be scared by fireworks. And now I've grown up, it's been a lot better, but I still don't really like fireworks much, just because of like the whole loud bangs and also loud places with people in them and sorts.
Not doing this can result in distress and anxiety. Flus, flinch, nicks. But it is hard to pin down attributes of my autism sometimes, as there is this overlap with my other conditions, like anxiety disorder, syphilis, sting toes, eat your mum, OCD or Tourette syndrome, Solistics, with the latter being what people tend to notice before my autism. But I like Shinistics can be saying to anybody with autism, not noticing that they have it.
The dog has left to go right there. In his usual spot. So socially I'm still a bit wary, a bit awkward, but can, once the conversation gets going, and then like once I've kind of found my place within a room, then I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah, so I'm definitely more like kind of picking up, like, whenever I'm in a conversation with someone, I'm kind of analysing it in a sense, like, oh, how can I, like, approach this conversation better? Like, is there anything that I should be picking up on that I'm not? Like how their faces, being like, are they like currently happy or anything like that? Like, should I be doing something here to like help them or like show empathy? Which I'm still working on. It's a process, but definitely getting there over time, kind of picking up on the social cues and whatnot. I like to lick my hand a lot. There we go. Yeah. Also, do have these birds. There they are. I think their names are Dustin the blue one there, and 11 is this green one. See, we are people, we will converse. It may just take a little bit more work to get to that social level of comfortableness where we can will actually become a friend, but then can be quite lower in that. But then I feel like a lot of times it's just like, oh look, he's just weird, we can just leave him alone. They're just the weird kids over in the corner. They'll just kind of mingle between each other, which isn't exactly fair, but I'm trying to change that. I'm at home, yeah. I do feel supported. My mum usually helps me out, like socially, like kind of helps me, like, you know, what to say on like phone calls, or like, you know, if I'm meant to like go in to speak to somebody, like how to kind of approach that person or that situation.
There you go. Yeah, you get the cheese.
Yeah, so I haven't really left the house since March 2020, mainly for like, didn't really feel the need to. Like, I haven't really been obviously invited anywhere or had any need to go. It is slightly isolating, but I do like the loneliness in a sense, as then don't really, the social interactions aren't really my greatest strong point. So other than like friends and whatnot, usually could like get along with them. But any other random people, like in university where I only know one person out of like the thousands that are there, it's a lot happier to be just sitting at home.
Well, we're thinking of going on holiday once all of this is over. We've no idea where though. I think probably like a cottage or something somewhere. No idea what's happening yet. And I'm going to try getting back into the adult community college in Clacton.
Probably tell them like, you know, you'll have friends in the future, even though right now you really don't, or don't know anyone at this place or anywhere. But it does get better. You do get friends, albeit you've given them, but you do get them, and they are actually okay. And social interaction is not scary sometimes.
Well, I think that Interact Club helped me a lot, so I'd probably say to myself to get into that a bit more sooner than I did. Because they really helped a lot. Just try to talk to people, I guess, in general, and just do better, I guess, than what I did.
Gnostic toasters. Shitnos. We may never truly understand autism, as it is so complex and everyone differs. Pimp, shitnose, wiggles, and I've barely scratched the surface of it. Pinky, sneeze. For example, there's stimming, echolalia, wiggle, shitnose, beverly kiddings, rituals, shitness, literalism, etc. First, shitting, nigga, wobble. Plus, these are only a fraction of the testimonies, alakantitoshas of the people with it, with autism, and alagastics, their subjectivity, flocky tugganong tong, they're going to eat us, lick you mum, to the situation. Thus, there's so much more to them. Syphilis, wriggles, the condition, acalahi, colaguntos, and the related conditions of autism. Fod, flodge, but hopefully, Anakinchas, you now have some insight into the constantly evolving syphilis gonks, rossi dongs, neurodiverse condition, ilix, and some of the ways how it can affect some people with it. Especially as you are likely to know someone with it.